In the heart of the oily Makhan Valley, where the air is so cold it shatters like glass, lived a man named Victor. At minus 71 degrees Celsius, breath doesn't just mist. It freezes into the whisper of stars, a tinkling sound of ice crystals falling to the earth. Victor was a man of the taiga. He lived in a cabin of large logs with his two huskies, Koda and Yuki. His life was a rhythmic battle against the White Death. On the morning of the great cold, he set out to check his snares, his face a mask of frozen rime. Koda Wolfgrey stands up and shakes snow off his thick coat. Yuki White sits alert, ears twitching. They both have heavy frost on their whiskers. He walks through knee-deep snow, followed by Koda and Yuki. He approaches a primitive wooden rabbit trap beneath a frozen pine. Kneels in the snow, his movements slow and deliberate. He pulls a frozen white rabbit from the wooden trap. He looks at it with respect, then tucks it into his parka. Yuki the white husky sniffs the air. His frost-reddened hands use a bone-handled knife to slice frozen meat on a wooden table. A small cast-iron stove glows orange in the background. He stirs a steaming metal pot on the stove. The cabin is filled with thick condensation. He pours meat scraps into two wooden bowls on the floor. Ambience: the crackling of firewood and the low whine of a husky. From outside the cabin at twilight, the sky is deep violet. He's seen through the small window by the warm orange glow of the fire. Koda the grey husky sits on guard by the door. Close-up of Koda the grey husky. Suddenly, his ears pin back, and he lets out a low, vibrating snarl toward the dark tree line. His blue eyes are wide. He stops in his tracks in the deep blue forest. He tilts his head, listening. In the distance, a deep, guttural tiger roar echoes, followed by the frantic yapping of many wolves. His two huskies, Koda and Yuki, stand perfectly still, hair bristling on their backs. Trees. The camera reveals a clearing where a massive Siberian tiger with a notched ear is backed against a jagged, ice-covered rock wall. A pack of 10 grey wolves is fanning out, encircling her. Close-up of the mother tiger. She is crouched low, snarling, with white frost matted into her orange fur. Between her massive front paws, a small, fluffy orange cub trembles. The tiger's breath comes in heavy, rhythmic white plumes. He emerges from the tree line, flanked by his two huskies. He is holding a flare gun in one hand and a sturdy wooden spear in the other. The wolves turn their heads, yellow eyes glowing in the dim light. The alpha wolf, a scarred, charcoal-grey beast. It stands atop a snow mound, snarling at the trapper. Its fur is crystalline with frozen mist. It looks between the man and the trapped tiger, calculating. He looks determined. He reaches into his parka and pulls out a bright red emergency flare. He strikes it, and a violent, flickering red light illuminates the blue-tinted snow and his frost-covered beard. 3 wolves launch a coordinated sprint toward the tiger. The mother tiger swipes a massive paw, sending a spray of snow and ice into the air. He fires the red flare into the sky, the red sparks raining down on the clearing. Koda Wolfgrey and Yuki White leap forward, barking ferociously to distract the flank of the wolf pack. They stay close to the man, creating a defensive line between the man and the wolves. From the cub's eye level, huge wolf shadows dance on the ice wall behind the cub. We see the mother tiger's massive tail twitching and the man's heavy boots stepping into the frame to protect them. The clearing is bathed in a hellish red glow from the flare. The man stands in the center, spear raised, flanked by his two barking huskies. The wolves are momentarily baffled by the heat and light of the flare. The mother tiger stands up to her full height, roaring. The red flare burns on the ground, melting a small circle in the deep snow. The man holds his spear steady. The alpha wolf winces at the heat, its yellow eyes reflecting the flickering red flame. The man reaches into his heavy parka and throws chunks of the frozen rabbit meat toward the far end of the tree line. The wolves, starved by the Siberian winter, turn their heads in unison toward the food. Close-up of the mother tiger, she slowly transitions from a crouched snarl to a standing position. She looks at the man, then at his two huskies, Koda and Yuki. The aggression in her eyes softens into a wary recognition. Driven by the fire and the distraction of the meat, the wolf pack begins to back away into the shadows of the ice-encased ghost trees. They vanish into the swirling diamond dust of the forest. Koda and Yuki, they are still standing in a defensive posture, but their barking has stopped. They watch the tree line, steam rising from their panting mouths in the frozen air. The red flare is dying out. The man, the two dogs, and the tiger family are the only living things visible in a vast, white, frozen world of rime-covered trees. The mother tiger nudges her cub with her massive head. She looks directly at the man for a long 8-second beat. No roaring, just the sound of the wind and their synchronized frozen breath. The mother tiger picks up the cub by the scruff of its neck and begins to limp slowly deeper into the forest, away from the cabin. Her orange fur stands out brilliantly against the white-blue ice. The man, he lowers his spear. He exhales a massive cloud of white frost. He wipes ice from his eyelashes. He looks tired but relieved. The man whistles for Koda and Yuki. The three of them turn and begin the long walk back towards home. The man is sitting by the glowing stove, removing his frozen boots. The two huskies are sprawled out on a rug, finally asleep. In the distance, the silhouette of the mother tiger and her cub are visible against the moonlight. They are safe. Don't get left in the cold. Subscribe for the next chapter. Support the rescue. Thump the like button. So the man or the tiger who was the real hero. Tell me below.